And we are back with one of the most exciting episodes of the Superhero Homies podcast that I'm sure you will ever hear.
Welcome back, buddy.
Buddy. Like it's good to have you back.
It was weird without you.
It was.
I feel like I wasn't gone long enough.
Like, maybe it should have been just a little bit longer.
Yeah,
A couple more days of PTO.
That's right. Yeah, a couple more. Yeah, just at least miss one more episode and then get right back into it. But
the committee only gives us like 4 vacation days a year.
They give you vacation days?
Well, us.
Yeah.
Full time.
I mean, we can probably. I'm sure they can maybe arrange for you guys to get. I mean,
they don't return my call.
It'll be TO. It won't be PTO.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And then,
voluntold time off.
Yeah, and then you'll also be written up as well for taking time off, but that's another story.
Yep.
And current events, really quick, it does appear that, and this is going to be a shocker, the Blade movie has apparently been officially canceled.
Oh, no.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Didn't see that coming.
I know. The movie that was announced back in 2019 has apparently been...
I'm a little shocked it took them that long.
I'm going to be honest. If y'all can't get Mahershala Ali cracking one-liners and killing vampires right, I don't have a whole lot of hope for the future of the MCU.
That should have been one of the easiest layups that Marvel has ever done.
This isn't a hard character to get right.
No. He's badass. He's cool as fuck. He's got the cool all blackout drip, and he kills vampires.
Now, since this movie is canceled, 2 questions. Number 1, do you think we see Mahershala Ali in Secret Wars as Blade as like a wink and a nod?
I hope so.
And then also, are they going to make a Wesley Snipes Old Man Blade movie?
At this point, all things are possible.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically, Wesley's blade was supposed to be pruned or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
So maybe not. The one good news though about like this Blade movie being canceled is that now they can finally get the casting right, and I am available, Marvel. So
I think you have a much better shot at this than you did at T'Challa.
see, I don't like how you say that.
No, I think.
But I actually kind of agree, though. Like, I see you swinging a sword before I see you slashing people with claws.
I mean, but I'm royalty. Okay, see, I don't like how you say that.
I didn't say anything.
I know. It's all fucked up. But
I believe in you.
thank you, Dylan.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm glad that somebody here believes in me. Yeah. And Junior, of course. Junior always believes in me.
I actually have heard that Kevin Feige is, putting off the announcement of Aldous Hodge as T'Challa to avoid hurting your feelings. So,
Well, no, I heard that he was like still deliberating as to like what is truly the best option moving forward.
I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear that?
No.
Oh well, I'm telling you now, man.
I usually keep my ear pretty close to the ground on this kind of thing.
Really?
And,
That's interesting. Maybe,
yeah, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, you don't hear me and Caleb actually. I would say me say this about Caleb very often, but I actually I believe him.
Dylan, what do you say?
They don't tell me things like this. A limo pops up every now and then. I try to run. It doesn't work. I'm here.
Well, the last episode I missed was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles review, the classic 1990s movie. And I was not shocked, but I was intrigued by the scores that you guys gave it. I believe Brendan gave it an 8.3.
8.3.
Oz gave it a 7.
Yep.
You gave it a 5, Caleb.
I gave it a 5.5.
5.5.
And he gave it a 5.
I was the negative Nancy on that one, apparently.
Yeah.
Did not see that coming.
What was your reaction to those scores?
It was... I guess I expected them all, except for maybe the exception of Brendan, to be a tad... No, even Brendan's I expected to be a tad bit higher.
Really?
Yeah, I thought Brendan was actually about to come in with some like 9.5 or some shit. Because he gave that god-awful Transformers movie a 10.
We don't have to repeat that here.
I wanna know what you would have scored it as.
Me personally, honestly, probably a 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah. And a lot of that does come down to Superhero Homies rule number 10.
Yep.
Which is love what you love. You don't need anyone's permission to enjoy something, but you have to realize that you enjoy it despite its flaws. Doesn't mean that you can just pretend they don't exist.
And that was 100% the reason why I gave it the score I gave it is, don't get me wrong, I will still watch that movie every year just because it's a childhood favorite of mine. One of the first fandoms I ever got into. Matter of fact, it is the first, movie I saw in a theater.
Oh, yeah. Which, damn, you old as fuck if you saw that in theater.
We had a discussion about this on the episode, but either way. But yeah, like, I know it's not a fucking phenomenal movie of, like, actual credibility, but, like, it's still really fun for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same here. It's still a solid representation of the Turtles.
Yeah.
I am not someone who tends to overhype Batman 89, like Tim Burton's Batman in general. Mm-hmm. But, like, every time we watch a movie from that era, I like it a little more. Because I'm just like, this is still a good movie today. And it came out in 89.
Yeah.
And this other shit we were watching.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
It really does. That really is a good point, right? Because typically, let's say that we haven't done the throwback series, right? And we haven't looked at movies from like the late 80s or the early 90s, and we just look back with kind of rose-tinted lenses. You might think that, well, yeah, we probably just overhyped a bunch of these movies from our past. Maybe Terminator 2 wasn't that good. Maybe 89 was just, maybe, some of these other movies that we deem classics weren't that. But
Never-ending story.
Different. The creepy dragon dog always scared me.
Same.
It was concerning.
Yeah, a little bit.
You used to see him in the third one.
But
don't want to.
But then you go back, right, and you start looking at some of these movies from like the early 90s. You start looking at movies like Steel.
Why did you have to bring that up?
Because me and Brendan reviewed that last year.
I'm so glad you didn't call me for that one.
Toxic Avenger,
which I'm making a remake pretty soon. You look at like Masters of the Universe in like the mid to late 80s with Dolph Lundgren as He-Man. Holy shit. And then you realize there was a lot of shit back then.
Yeah.
and the stuff that was good, like, is really a shining beacon.
And like, it does kind of drive home my mother's point of like, I will never watch these movies in the theater. Like, she was very much I will never watch these movies with you.
Why?
I assumed she was just a grumpy old woman, but like, apparently, like, it's, they're just bad movies.
Oh, there's that. Yeah.
He accepted it finally. That's the first step.
I mean, that goes in the other direction as well, right? Like, something might be a 10 to me, and then, it's just not for you. So, it goes both ways, where it's like, oh, I love this shitty thing, or, okay, that thing might be objectively solid, but it's just not for me.
Yeah, like, understanding the difference between something not being for you versus something being shit, is, for example, like, I haven't seen this movie, but I can definitely say, Barbie's not for me, but, from what I hear and from what I can ascertain, it's a really solid flick.
Mm-hmm.
I still need to watch it.
Yeah, agreed.
That's good, yeah.
Now, the Eternals, on the other hand...
It's just bad.
That's just bad.
It's just bad, yeah.
Like, that movie was for you.
It was bad. I disagree.
The concept.
The concept was for you.
Yeah.
The execution was not.
I mean, if you just don't know anything about it, it's interesting.
I guess intergalactic space robots or whatever they turned the Eternals into.
Sex dolls.
Yep. It's whatever. Speaking of things that are for you.
Oh,
grown.
we really need to get Kevin over here to record a go to bed button, and I have to hit it every time you make a horrible.
That's why I purposely never got one.
Yeah, our subject matter tonight. I think some introductions are in order.
They are indeed. Homies one and all, welcome back to a very fantastic episode of the Superhero Homies podcast. I'm Q, and it's clobbering time, and as always, I am here with the flaming Caleb, the oftentimes invisible homie Dylan,
That actually fits me more than it should.
and the man who stretches the truth more than anyone I know.
Whoa!
Homie Oz.
Damn.
So now that the introductions are out of the way here,
I feel like mine's the only one that kind of fits.
I don't know what CM Punk has to do with any of this. He says it's clobbering time. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
we are
I'm just gonna
here.
let it go.
Yeah.
We are here to discuss the Fantastic Four, but not just any Fantastic Four. We're not talking about the Fantastic Four comic books or any of the theatrical released editions that you guys may have seen. We are here to talk about the unofficial, technically unreleased 1994, could have been classic, The Fantastic Four.
They made the film a long time ago.
A real long time ago.
Back in 94.
Back in 94.
If it was not released at all, like, how the fuck did we watch it?
So, I'm glad you asked. So, as it turns out, there actually is a documentary called Doomed, very aptly titled. That is the story of this
record
movie.
might skip.
That record might skip.
See, I told you.
Stop hitting the table. So there was a guy by the name of Roger Corman, and he made a ton of movies. He was like an executive producer, big Hollywood guy. Think like John Peters with no money.
Oh, dear Lord.
He made some real bangers, such as The Carnosaur,
That's a classic right there.
Crocosaurus versus Pterodactyl.
I've actually heard of that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real? That second one?
So there's quite a few here. But there was a guy, his name, let me get it here. It's taking IMDb a minute. But he was trying to hang on to the rights. He had secured the rights from Marvel for probably $30 to have Fantastic Four. And as we know, with all these like movie rights and everything, there's always this like time period involved in it. It's like, well, if you make a franchise out of it, whatever, you extend it. But if you don't produce a film, then the rights just revert back to the rights holder, which in this case would have been Marvel. I got it here. The guy's name was Bernd Eichinger.
A what?
Bernd Eichinger was his name.
Burn?
Bernd. B-E-R-N-D. He's like
the past
he's
tense
from
of
like
burn?
no, B-E-R-N-D.
Oh.
He's from like Latveria or somewhere. And
Liberia.
Latveria. And so they decided that they were gonna put together a budget. Like, what's the cheapest that we could put out a movie so I could keep my rights? And so he went to Roger Corman, who was known for doing low budget films. His studio was in like a bad part of town. It was like an old abandoned factory. They actually said that the sound curtains that they had on the walls in like the studio, quote unquote, like they would actually see rats like climbing up through the walls during the production. They actually adopted some cats and kept them on the set to keep the rats under control, which is like, you know, what they did in the Red Keep in Game of Thrones.
Damn.
Yeah, so this movie had like a crazy path to like actually getting made or whatever, but by the time they actually went to go put it out, Avi Arad, who was a big time person at Marvel, was working on the Fox deal for X-Men and Fantastic Four, which, as we know, became this huge thing. We're still seeing the kind of remnants of that today. Well, they didn't want to mess with the Fox deal, so he basically got on the phone and paid Bernd Eichinger and Roger Corman like $1 million each, and then the actual production company got paid off, and essentially the rights reverted back to Marvel, And the movie, like, as part of it, though, like, the movie got canned. Like, they had to hand over all their reels and everything to Marvel. Because nothing was shot digitally back then. It was all, on actual film reels.
As we saw in this copy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the director and the editor, they actually went and broke into Roger Corman's warehouse to try to steal the reels back so they could show their work or whatever. And they had already been taken by Marvel. So, like, someone at Marvel leaked this shit.
That's funny.
And ironically enough, the cast actually never got to see the film. They were supposed to have a premiere at the Mall of America. And the cast, like, went to, like, San Diego Comic-Con, and they were going to all these other conventions and, like, promoting it and stuff. And then, like, a week before the premiere, it's just, oh, not happening. This movie never existed. And so, like, they were at, like, some comic convention and just, browsing the vendor hall as one does. And, like, they saw this Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie. And they were like, what the fuck? I'm in this. And they were like, oh, dude, you are in it. It's only like $10 or whatever. He's like, that's cool because I've never seen it. So he, like, bought a copy from the guy.
Oh, my God.
And took it home and watched it.
Wow. So there were actually sold copies of this.
It was actually a huge thing. I mean, they were all, like, underground, like, bootleg copies. But, yeah, there was this huge thing for a while where there was this kind of, like, cult following for this movie because it was, like, the unreleased Fantastic Four. I mean, they have footage of Stan Lee at San Diego Comic-Con hyping this movie up, talking about that it was going to exist. Stan Lee had been out to the set a few times.
And yet they didn't give him a cameo in this.
I know. The other thing to remember...
Maybe they did, and he was like, I'm good.
Yeah. The thing to remember about all this, though, is, like, in the early 90s... Stan Lee is not the, cultural icon that he was in, like, the late 2000s. Like, unless you're a comic book fan, which was not a mainstream thing at the time, then you don't know who the fuck Stan Lee is. And also, there had never been a, like, blockbuster Marvel feature. Like, 1990 Captain America was the shit they had. The most successful Marvel thing that had ever been on film at this point was the X-Men cartoon.
Yeah. In terms of live action, you got Howard the Duck. You got Dolph Lundgren's Punisher.
Yep.
You got...
That Punisher movie is awful.
Oh, yeah. You got 1990s Captain America. You got 94 Fan Four Stick. And, like, before, at this point... That might be...
Let's not shit on it and call it Fan Four Stick, okay? There's only one Fan Four Stick.
Yeah, I'm bad. The Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'll also point out that we're doing this in the lead up to the Fantastic Four First Steps movie, which is set to come out in July. And...
Is that why we're doing this?
That is why we're doing this.
That's why we got roped into this, Dylan.
And we decided that we're going to review all of them leading up to and then including the new Fantastic Four movie. And I was like, oh, yeah, so all three of them. And then Ace here decided that we should also include this unreleased classic.
So you say that like this is the worst one, but you said a good 8 times while we were watching this movie that this is not the worst one.
It's not the worst one. And I still hold to that. Fan Four Stick is the worst one.
But yet he keeps throwing you under the bus on
this.
No,
I'm throwing you under the bus for this specific one.
He did the same thing with Dune 84, so you know what? I'm used to it by now.
Wait.
I am used to him throwing me under the bus, but it's cool.
I had nothing to do with Dune 84.
You gonna make it over there?
Yeah, my allergies are awful.
It's for all that bullshit you're spewing over there.
That's what I think it is.
Well, I ain't allergic to bullshit. I wouldn't be alive.
Oh, man.
Careful, man. You know how it is in the South. Your allergies progressively get worse.
That's true. Yeah.
Is that a pun or something?
No,
it's
for real.
Fact.
No, it's a fact.
I thought we were leading up to like some kind of pun. I was like,
same. I was like,
no. I actually didn't have allergies until I moved, and then that fucked it all up. So then, like when I moved back, they just so awful.
See, when I moved here, I started to get allergies, but it's still nothing like a lot of people get.
Most people that are like live in the South long enough, they get them because of all the like you're getting blasted with tree semen of 8,000 varieties.
The yellow plague.
I'm just saying, I moved up here from Florida, so like I should theoretically be getting hit worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am one of the fortunate ones. I don't have any
Same.
issues with it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I can see, so.
That's awfully bold for you to be like within arm's reach of me to say that.
You're not a lawyer.
Are you sure? I can't fucking see.
You're not blind enough to be a really good lawyer.
I can be a halfway decent lawyer, still beat your ass. I can be a Saul Goodman to get the job done.
Goddamn.
Damn.
Hey, Saul Goodman's a really good lawyer, depending on the circumstances.
Yeah.
Well, he's not a really good lawyer. He's a good lawyer.
He's a good lawyer.
Yeah, so this movie, yo.
Yeah, let's get into this movie.
Yeah, homie. So here's the thing about
How long
this.
has it been? 20 minutes? You never said a damn thing about this movie?
Well, here's the thing about this, guys. You have to remember. So, homies, with this Fantastic Four movie, I'm aware that most of you have probably not seen this, which is why the homie Dylan is going to give us a scene-by-scene breakdown of everything that happens in this movie. I'm joking with you.
No.
Dylan.
Well, let's go around the table and we'll get everybody's vague overall thoughts. Dylan.
I am to assume that we spoiling from
Full
start.
spoil,
Okay, I thought so.
I don't know how we could spoil something that never came out.
I just want to make sure. This, as you like to say, this was one of the movies of all time.
Yes.
This movie made me a little uncomfortable. I'm gonna be honest. There was a lot of touching that was not required at all. And I never thought that I would be simultaneously angry and then immediately wanting to look away as someone races a laser beam and then takes said laser beam up the ass. I don't know how to feel about this movie. That's my final thoughts.
Oz?
Mostly, I had a hard time just looking at it. Like I even said this while we were watching. Like I can't watch this movie because I can't look at the movie. The quality was absolute garbage, but at the same time, I made it through.
You got real twitchy too.
Oh yeah. It wasn't quite like Captain America 1990 or Howard the Duck bad. But like when I start watching a movie I know is just fucking horrible, my body gets physically unable to sit still, and I start bouncing a lot. I start shaking, rubbing my hands on my legs and shit. Like it's bad.
Holiday special.
Was
Holiday
it holiday
special?
Okay, yeah. I was like, one movie I was there for that you just
That
didn't know what to do with your hands.
Yeah, like those type of movies make me very uncomfortable, and I just can't.
You mean Grandpa didn't put you at ease?
he had to take breaks to go outside and like smoke during the holiday special.
Yeah,
I
I
think
did.
there was like 2-3 breaks.
It was
Yeah,
like right
yeah, like,
before the B. Arthur musical.
It was so bad. But I will give it this. Some of the costumes were pretty dope,
Yeah.
minus some animatronic stuff. And the last 30 minutes were entertaining. How so? We will get into, but
Yeah, so we've all heard stories, and maybe some of you have even been that person, but we've all heard stories about someone who takes the weed brownie or somebody who drops acid and they go, man, I don't feel anything. This is boring. And then it kicks in and like you are holding on for dear life, right? That's what this movie is.
I don't think I ever want to do drugs.
but so accurate.
Like I never really want to before, but now I'm sure if that's what this is.
You sit down to watch 1994 Fantastic Four, and you will think this is just some boring, low-budget bullshit. And then, out of nowhere, this movie becomes... It's still nonsensical, but the pace triples damn near. And the going-ons, you can't hardly fathom everything that's happening and why and how it's happening. And by the time it's over, you're like, it's like if you're used to vanilla sex and you have sex like a dominatrix, and when you're done, you're like, I don't know if I enjoyed that or not.
That was oddly specific.
Was it? Oh, that's interesting.
No pink shame, bro.
But I'm not speaking from personal experience. But that's what this movie was like for me.
I don't think it's a kink if you're not sure if you enjoyed it. Not sure if you enjoyed it actually is a great way to talk about this movie. I mean, on the one hand, I want to kind of applaud them for the budget, right? Mm-hmm. They made a movie with $1 million in '93. We were talking about it earlier, like the Ninja Turtles movie from 1990, which I guess they filmed it in '89. That was made with $13.5 million. So this thing is on like a 13th of the budget of that. They shot it in like I said, like an old abandoned factory. Most of the sciencey shit is a bunch of painted Solo cups glued to the wall, and then it's like if we turn the lights off. So much of this movie is shot in the dark.
Oh, it's pretty bad.
This movie is filmed by candlelight.
Yeah, whatever they did with the like solar flare at the beginning, it must have like destroyed the sun because there is no light.
Once they decided to think of their powers more positively, it suddenly got way brighter.
Yeah, yeah,
It's true.
But yeah, this movie, the pacing is snail's pace for the first two-thirds, and then it's like 86 Transformers pacing for the last third.
I almost went to sleep in the first, like there was a handful of times I was like, wake the fuck up. I ended up having to walk around.
Yeah, so that's my overall thoughts. I will take this moment to say that the soundtrack for this entire movie went way too fucking hard.
Yeah, the soundtrack, I don't know what that guy was on or what he was doing. Whoever conducted this, like the score for this, but he was on one. Because he went to work and he took his job very seriously. No one else.
Even though he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
So the director actually, they talk about this in documentary. The director went to this like sound studio or whatever and to get them to score it. And they were like, "Oh yeah, we can get you a 40-piece orchestra." And he was like, "Maybe they didn't hear me when I told them how much money we had." And he was like, "To this day, I don't know how they pulled it off, but yeah, they hired a 40-piece orchestra to do
That is hilarious.
the sound for this movie that never fucking came out."
And I even brought this up about the score like a handful of times. I thought like I heard like the Jurassic Park theme in there.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's how.
Yeah, I mean, but we pointed it out. Jurassic Park didn't come out until way later.
Yeah,
and there was another one that it sounded like too.
I will say that some of the fight music.
Ocean's 12.
I know some of the fight music kind of sounded Star Warsy.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? Like the Fantastic Four, they're not easy to crack because you have 4 pivotal characters, and so far, every movie they've had Victor Von Doom as the villain, so that's 5 pivotal characters that you have to focus on, give individual personalities, stories, plot lines. And listen, that is a hard thing to do, but what this movie does that's so unique is they actually don't do anything different at all. they fuck it up just like the rest of them do.
I feel like this is a huge fuck up though. Like the fact that Sue and Johnny Storm, they like apparently that Ben and Reed already knew them as children.
That was weird.
it was really weird.
So we can take this from the top then.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of this movie, we see Reed Richards and Ben Grimm, 2 38-year-old college students. And they're taking some kind of, what course would you say
Physics?
this is?
Physics? Yeah.
Don't know why Ben is in that class.
Maybe
Yeah,
astrophysics specifically.
Right, maybe astrophysics. it's so funny looking back in the day, like, you know, Happy Days or anything like that when kids are supposed to be in high school, and it's like, man, you are like
You're old.
You're on your second mortgage, and your high school kids are stressing you out. But no, we see Victor. Victor's there too, by the way. Victor Von Doom, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And him and Reed have been working on this space butt plug, whatever the fuck it is.
It was,
In the middle of class, passing that shit back and forth.
Yes.
Like little
they had to
buttholes.
get it ready for this space-time butthole.
This movie did not have a space-time butthole,
It did not, but they were preparing for
but
one.
they were trying to make one.
they couldn't afford a space-time butthole.
They really could. Also, the just to roll back a little bit, the intro credits for this was definitely some
my
like
God.
Magic School Bus Bill Nye bullshit.
But
it
less
goes
fun
on,
than any of what that is.
and like it lasts for probably 4 minutes.
Four,
Like,
yeah,
it
4
just
minutes.
goes
Easy.
on.
Like they didn't have Google, but if you just Google image search like Cosmos, it was like the first 30 images that you would find.
I want to say,
But from the
half
90s.
My burger. I ate half my burger during the intro of this.
and it was still going, and
And they put a blue hue on everything. I guess they were
Where they got
trying
it,
to.
you know, it's space.
Well, no, I guess I thought more of it was like more of a you paying homage to the colors of their suits or something. But
No, I think that's just how recording worked for that.
Yeah,
I could be wrong
I don't know why they did what they did in this movie.
at all.
90% of the time.
Yep,
Actually, about 95% of the time.
more or less for sure. By the way, guys, did we mention that Marvel was bankrupt at this time?
Yeah. Did we also mention that so was the people that made this movie? Because the budget was $1 million.
They were less bankrupt.
So we do get like a quick interlude after the course, right? After the class, whatever. Victor was very bizarre, very socially awkward or inept. He does everything with hands and touching. There's a scene with him and Reed.
At the start of it, though, I liked his thing with touching because he didn't touch people.
He just made like.
But doing this is arguably creepier.
Yeah.
It can be, and I don't want him to do that either. But if he did that and then didn't touch me, that's better than later on when he's like,
That is true.
He was doing the Cassandra Nova thing, but they didn't have the tech for it, so he just.
Oh my god.
it's all up on somebody's face.
And then I think probably the next scene that baffled us a lot, I know it baffled me, was when we go to the little orphanage foster home of Johnny and Sue.
This was weird, right? And unnecessary.
Very weird.
What threw me off was that, there's a scene where we go upstairs into this little foster home, and there's this little kid and like this older guy playing video games.
Playing video game.
You are all
Which
correct.
we are not sure what game that was. I don't
wasn't.
think it was real.
Yeah, the graphics were definitely too good for early 90s at this
Yeah.
point. Like, I want to say that the NES would have been the newest thing they would have had.
Oh,
But
you
they
know
were
what makes
playing
sense?
an Atari because I
Atari
saw
Right.
joysticks.
Yeah.
And
it
the
was
Atari
10
games
years.
did not look like that.
Correct.
Yeah, and it was 10 years ago, so it would have been, 84, I guess, canonically speaking?
Technically, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, no. No.
It would
Like
have been,
this movie gave a shit about the time period.
They would have had Pong at best.
at best, yes. But I thought that, like, the older guy was supposed to be Johnny.
Oh, I was right there with
Actually,
you.
I think
Yeah.
it was actually Ben.
And it's so weird because, like, they're just there.
Yeah.
And then Reed comes up, and then there's this little girl who's maybe 11.
I thought maybe 12.
Yeah, like around that age range. Yeah, 100%. I do recognize the actress. I cannot remember where I know her from.
And he's just like, she's just like, he fine as fuck. Mm-hmm. And
I think
it's
she
creepy.
almost damn near says that.
I think she says dreamy.
Yeah, he's so dreamy is what she
Yeah.
says.
It's like she said she thinks he's cute. She knows he's sexy.
God damn it.
Oh my god.
He's
God,
got
and the
the
looks.
that drives Sue
the-
Storm wild.
Yeah.
He's got the moves.
They're really moving him?
Yeah, it's crazy. I guess he's just a sexy boy to her. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, Sean. Sorry. Reed.
She was in an episode of Supernatural.
Oh.
She was in an episode of Psych. She was in an episode of Criminal Minds. She's in Hatchet 2. Not sure what that is.
What's the second Hatchet movie?
Yeah, I know, but... Oh, she was also in Hatchet 1.
Oh. So she survived Hatchet 1.
Yeah, she's a
Or she
survivor.
could be the killer.
Oh, nice.
That too.
I'm just assuming a movie named Hatchet is...
Not necessarily. It could be based off the book, The Hatchet.
She's in an episode of Boston Public. That's probably where I would know her from. She was in Angel. 17 episodes of Angel.
That's probably
That's
where
where
I know
you
her.
know her
That's
from.
where I know her from then.
Yeah, she was Harmony.
Yep.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I was
yep.
going to say, that's where you know her from. Oh, well, she was also in Buffy as well.
Yeah,
because
as Harmony.
She's
Yeah.
in Angel. Yeah. They're connected. They was
Okay,
just,
I figured that out just now.
Okay, yeah. See, there was a show about a vampire hunter.
boy.
And then...
No, do tell. Go ahead.
His name was Blade. And, yeah. It's just creepy that Sue is
Fucking 12?
12. And again,
Well,
it's
also, like, I was around some teenage girls in that time period, and they are very obsessed with, like, way older men.
okay.
Like the
That does not
Backstreet
make it
Boys at
less
the time.
creepy.
I know. I'm just saying.
It was
time period.
It was
stuff.
unnecessary though. It was.
It really was unnecessary for this movie. It really was.
Like, there was no reason for there to be like this weird age gap between the two. And granted, like, they don't do anything romantic until 10 years later. But
10.
yeah. I ain't buying it.
Also, like, they didn't need this at all. However, I will say that they had to have been trying to pad the runtime because the thing is a 90 minutes, and I mean, like, credits to credits is 90 minutes. Like, it's not like the film is 90 minutes. No. The whole thing is 90 minutes.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Which is why we get 4 minutes of Cosmos in the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh man. Like.
So the next kind of big scene we get here, one of my favorites, at least in the first half, is Victor and Reed trying to start up the MacGuffin.
The MacGuffin machine.
This was one of your favorite scenes in the first half?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like how, like,
There's not a big bar.
That's true.
there's two computer terminals in here directly across from each other, and they're trying to, like, capture a solar flare or something.
They're trying to do
And-
something with it, yeah.
And when the machine starts to go haywire, I like how they both start furiously typing, as if there's something they're going to be able to type that will fix it.
That's not how science works.
No.
That's not how
No,
engineering
they
works
use
either.
knobs.
Yeah.
They use knobs and little switches,
That's right.
buttons.
Yeah,
They
it's,
ran to a different computer and start.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it's like a fortress that you can teleport using only buttons and dials.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But the shit goes haywire, right? And they got like a crowd of people watching them work. On,
I
like,
thought it
outside
was just a
the
crowd of
building.
people watching the
solar
flare.
flare. Yeah.
Also, I still want to know, how the fuck did Ben know, like 30 minutes ago, to start running to them?
I think he was in the crowd, like
Yeah.
one of the people that was there.
There were 4 shots of cutaway of him running towards it, and it started before the thing messed up.
Well, he's not Matt Murdock. He can't run that fast.
But he started before it messed up.
Yeah.
Also, we got to be careful with saying the thing because twice now I thought that we were talking about the thing.
That's fair. Like, I even made a separate thing reference at the end of this movie,
Yeah.
which was Adam's Family, the thing. Not
And see, that time I thought you were talking about John Carpenter's The Thing.
Too many things.
too many
If
things.
you don't take anything from this review,
Damn it.
just take this. The word thing is very abstract and not specific at all. It's very vague.
Do they do call him The Thing in this movie, right?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think they do actually once at all.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
they call him Ben the whole time, and he says it's clobbering time twice.
He does.
Twice.
I don't think they actually say any of their names.
No.
Oh, you're right. That is interesting.
Yeah, they They never say Human Torch or
They say their names, but not.
Yeah,
I mean, Sue is the easiest. Oh my gosh, Sue, you're an invisible woman. That doesn't even happen.
Right? They could have easily done that.
And I would just love to hear Reed be like, oh my gosh, Ben, you're this creature, you're this thing. But me, I'm Mr. Fantastic.
he's got the moves that drive the girls wild.
Oh, God.
He's a fantastic boy.
Stop it. Stop it.
The bullshit MacGuffin machine goes haywire.
And Palpatine's the shit out of Victor.
I will say, like, this is one of those scenes that it was very hard to just look at for me. Like, the lightning really threw me off, and like
Threw
it
Victor
actually
off too.
I could not look at that scene. I actually had to look away like twice. I was like, no.
I couldn't look away.
Right.
The only time I looked away is when I laughed.
Yeah. This scene was like a combination of, like Caleb said, Palpatining the shit out of somebody, and like Dr. Manhattan in a perpetual state of exploding. Like that's what it looked like.
Without actual explosion.
Yeah.
With the effects of any time there was a storm in Neverending Story, where it's just like the lights flash and like a newspaper would blow by the window.
Yeah.
And that was the storm.
Yep.
We did forget that previously to this, Victor was told, hey, your calculations are bullshit.
Yeah.
You're wrong. And he was like, we can do it.
I'm not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
No. He saved the Latveria and the for later in the film. Those are the money shots.
See, any trained actor knows that when your face is covered, you act with your hands.
Yeah, spirit fingers and whatnot.
But Victor is dead.
Yeah, the creepiest doctor in the history of creepy doctors.
Out of nowhere. Like I think the three of you actually weren't actually looking at the screen. I wasn't. I was, and I saw him walk up, but then y'all turned and were like, "Holy fuck, where did he come from?"
Yeah, I look. So I'm watching the show. I'm like, all right, cool. I look down to take a bite. I go.
Well, because he kind of just Reed turned and he was just there.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't think your friend made it. Like, dog. Like,
the creepiest doctor ever. Because at least they are responsible enough to take Victor to the hospital.
yeah. And then when he gets on the elevator, he just long stared at Reed the whole time. Like you thought the door was gonna close, but it just wouldn't. And then finally they did the slow elevator close, and he just kind of like bug-eyed at Reed the whole time.
You know, this movie was like, we want to make sure that people know that maybe this guy isn't on the up and up.
Yeah.
It was painfully obvious for everything.
Latveria MVP #1.
All right. Do we ever figure out like what their motive was and why they did what they did?
No.
Okay.
No. I think they tried to, but you couldn't hear what the fuck they were saying. I think it was something along the lines of they're gonna like make Victor what he like into Doctor Doom.
But why?
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know. That's all I got, man.
We're gonna give this dude all these powers, and then we're gonna become his simps.
Yeah. What powers?
Yeah, this is the most powerless Doctor Doom we ever get.
He has Catwoman claws.
Yeah.
And
only on the 4 fingers, though.
And he's immune to bullets.
And he can flex them back.
Yeah,
Yep.
he can flex them back at people with the Force.
And he can talk mad shit if you can hear him. It's like,
Okay.
I will fuck your shit up. Like, I'm sorry, what?
So
What you say?
So the funny thing about this is the actor who actually played him is to this day livid about the whole thing. And I'm like, dude, you should just dub over it. Like, but so apparently they had reserved some time at a sound studio, and he was on set and did all the lines through the mask, which sound awful. And they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have you come in and like record some of the dialogue or whatever." He's like, "Can we do all of it?" Because
It sounds bad.
You can very easily tell in the movie which ones are from the soundstage and which ones are just like. If you've ever seen the DBZ abridged Lord Slug movie, he sounds like Lord Slug in that movie, where he's like,
it's comical.
It is.
It's comical. Like,
We had to pause it like 2 or 3 times.
yeah. Like, do you guys remember like when everyone was up in a tizzy in 2012 when The Dark Knight Rises came out? People were talking about how they couldn't understand Bane.
"Oh God."
This right here, holy shit! Bane has nothing on this Doctor Doom here.
Yeah, it's bad.
He would come on and say something, and I would just look at all of you guys and be like, "Did anyone else? No, okay."
And then, usually, one of us would be like, "What?"
I think I might have caught and understood more than the rest of you, and that still was like 20%.
It's not good.
It's bad.
So, anyways, 10 years passes by.
Yeah.
Without everything's good, you know.
Yeah, Victor's presumed dead.
They just got over it.
They did. So this orphanage that Ben and Reed, not Ben and Reed love to go to, they go to again, and
Creepy still.
and now Sue is of age, so everything is okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, you're glancing past the door scene with Ben being fucking weird.
Oh, when the mom answers the door, and Ben says, "Hi, Mrs. Storm. We're here to take your children into outer space."
But he doesn't say it like that.
No. It was like, "Can Sue and Johnny come out to go to outer space?" or some shit like that. I was like, "What?"
And he
the fuck?
he did a whole voice for it and everything.
It was real fun.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
It was
And
giving
then
me.
also, didn't he pick her up and spin her around
Yeah.
and give her a hug?
He does that to a lot of people here.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it's kind of odd.
This movie is real touchy.
A little bit.
Real touchy.
Yeah. Stop touching me. Do not pick me up either. Stop. Hey. All right.
So, an interesting note on some of the shitty special effects
So you were
too.
really cold.
Can't help that.
Cold as ice, motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah.
Cold as ice.
But yeah, so apparently early on they had hired this special effects guy, and he apparently showed up with all this equipment and talked to Big Game and said that he had worked on the special effects for some other crazy movie. I forget what the movie was, but yeah, as it turned out, they would give him okay, this is ready for the effect. And then he would take it for a couple weeks and then come back with it, and it would just be completely unacceptable trash. And they'd be like, "What the fuck?" So about halfway through production, they had to go and hire this other film place that does special effects to do some of the better ones that you see in the movie. So
There were better ones?
Some of them are better than others.
yeah, the laser hitting Johnny Storm in the asshole was the first guy.
I'm not shocked about that.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That means though that's some of his better work.
yeah.
And you can tell he was part of that.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We will get there.
Let him
Man, he could too long. You gotta learn how to turn it off sometimes.
Flame off.
Flame off, because that's how that works.
Oh my god.
You gotta say the code word.
I would love.
Let's get there first though.
Yeah.
I would love nothing more than to get to the part where we get the Fantastic Four, at least in the space shuttle. But in order to get there, we have to talk about the B plot.
The jeweler.
Fuck.
This random motherfucker that none of us knew about.
So naturally, Reed Richards has a laser defense grid for his ginormous slug crystal that he got from,
Why is it a slug crystal?
because it was kind of shaped like a slug.
No, it was just like a pile of rocks.
Yeah,
No, but it was flat
just a
on the
cluster.
bottom.
It was just a cluster.
Which a pile of rocks isn't.
No, I get that. But why is that a slug?
I don't know. It was slug shaped to me. It could have been a doom slug. You get it? You see? You get it? You get it? You get it?
Closer, but still no.
But anyway.
Spoiler.
Yeah, it could have been a Doom. Doom.
There we go.
We need a button that goes Doom. Doom. But anyway.
We need K to record it, though.
Yes. But of course. But, so the jeweler goes in and he does the Ocean's 12 laser dance.
Laser hop.
Where he gets
Let's
around
not gloss over the fact that the jeweler is a creepy little leprechaun man.
Yeah.
Also, we don't know his fucking name for like half the movie.
Yeah, he's a mix between Joe Pesci from Home Alone and the Penguin from Batman Returns.
Yeah.
It's to the point where, like...
With a dash of Leprechaun from the horror movie Leprechaun.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of those.
Like
1 through 17.
The homies look at me and they're like, who is this guy?
Like 3 times we asked that.
I don't fucking know this guy.
Well, you're like you are usually our encyclopedia of characters from pretty much every comic.
But this isn't an indictment on you. It's an indictment on this movie.
Yeah.
Because
like,
who the fuck are we using here?
It's like a random Food Network host for all I know.
You did figure it out, though.
No, I think Caleb
me.
Googled it. Apparently, there's one issue that he shows up in.
Yeah, this motherfucker's like a background character in a Fantastic Four single issue, and they were like, he's perfect for the B plot. Probably because they could not afford to do any of the other characters.
Yeah. It's like they wanted to use Mole Man because this motherfucker lived in the sewers and had like 1 million people, but they were like, yeah, but the Mole Man would cost money. So we're going to swap him out with... And you know what's so infuriating, right? So if the jeweler apparently is this very obscure character from the comic books, who the fuck told them about this character? and
That's fair.
And why didn't they tell them anything else about the Fantastic Four?
It's clear that they knew a few things.
Or maybe Stan Lee just dropped that name somewhere when he visited the set once or twice.
I promise you Stan at that point didn't remember the jeweler.
I don't know if Stan Lee even like intended for that motherfucker to be the jeweler. Like, it could have just been some side character that got drawn in the background.
Jack Kirby was like, I'm gonna draw a fucking leprechaun
with a jewelry thing in his eye.
And they were like, I don't know, it's a jeweler. I don't know.
Apparently, like, Stan Lee denied this movie's existence, even though there's footage of him talking about it at Comic-Con and footage of him being on the set several times.
That shit didn't happen.
Like, nah, dog.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, true believer.
Yeah, both him and Jack Kirby are not credited. Like, they did not want to be mentioned.
I believe it.
I'm like, but 1990s Captain America, though.
Were their names on that?
It couldn't have been. There's no way they wanted their names on that and not this.
Yeah, no. Especially Cat, because Cat was Jack Kirby's baby. There's no way.
Yeah, because this movie is not good, but it's not 1990 Captain America bad.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I thankfully can't.
Reed Richards didn't steal any cars.
Yeah, there were no cars stolen from this.
I think everybody's ears were their ears.
Which is an odd thing to say. If you haven't seen 1990s Captain America, that sentence makes no sense.
It just don't make no damn sense.
We also have to talk about Miss Alicia Masters.
Oh, God.
Again, like, this is more evidence that, okay, they have picked up a comic book, but also... They just pick and choose, I guess, when they want to be ignorant and when they want to pull some shit from the comics.
It was weird because, like, it's a comic book property and she was blind. She doesn't seem to be a lawyer. Didn't fight any crime.
She fought one dude.
That's true.
She did.
She didn't seem to hear real well.
You know, I as much as I am enjoying Daredevil Born Again, I need it to hurry up and end and so we can move on. Because I'm afraid of what's going to happen if the homie Caleb meets a blind person. he has this misconception that all blind people may or may not be really good lawyers and also blind ninjas. I don't think that's healthy for the blind community.
First blind person I'm going to come across. Do you know Kung Fu?
I don't think it's healthy for him either.
Yeah, not for him. Because if they say yes, then he's fucked.
Yeah, he's fucked.
Well, I'm not a criminal. I'll be fine.
I know you're secretly this night vigilante. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And then you're going to need a really good lawyer after that.
I'm going to call Matt Murdock.
But yeah, Alicia Masters is in this, and she Ben bumps into her, and she drops her
statue
head that she has, and it breaks. And Ben does what any good man would do, and he picks her up.
Like
above his head.
As if she was a toddler that weighed nothing.
Palms her stomach, lifts her, and then lifts her again.
Which has to be terrifying for a blind woman.
That would be terrifying for someone who can see.
And then he's just like, it's fine. You're safe with it.
and then she caresses his face.
And is suddenly fine with it.
All right, so...
What are you about to say?
That's actually how blind people see people.
That's not the problem here.
That's not the problem.
The problem is that she's suddenly okay with it.
Yeah. Like, this motherfucker just snatched me up off the ground, broke my shit, then snatched me up off the ground, and then is whispering sweet nothings to me. And then, but
he's got a jawline that's real nice.
Yeah, he got a fucking John Cena jawline, so it's fine.
Yeah, so, I mean, that was a scene. And now, I wouldn't have brought it up if this was just like a Easter egg cameo, but it's not.
Yeah, you would have.
I would have said, Alicia Masters is in this movie. And that probably would have been about it. But yeah, so... let's go ahead and go to the spaceship scene.
We do have there's one tiny thing about the jeweler and his switching shit out. He did while he was doing this, Dr. Doom was watching him do it.
Googled who he was real quick.
Yeah,
that's how we found out who he was.
with his Doom tech, his Doom Google.
It's called the
Doogler, if you will.
Doomgler, yeah.
The Doomgler? No, I think the Doomgler is the double-sided Doom mask sex toy. You can get it for $59.95 at your local erotic shop.
Damn.
Such a weird number.
Well, oddly enough, you'd be surprised how often that number comes up.
It's because you have to the currency has to be translated from
USD to Liberian
currency
to LVT.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah. But I think my brain turned off for every part that the jeweler was part of.
Mm-hmm.
It did, mine too.
Because they literally were just like, we need this weird slug gem, as you like to call it, that's going to help them do their science project to be swapped out for a fake.
Yeah. We
need to create a guy that does that.
Also, it's just important to mention here that this is early 90s, and so you basically have both of the main women characters. One of them, Alicia, is a damsel in distress, and that's it. That's her entire character. And then Sue is not much better than that. She is a fuck puppet that can turn invisible and creates a barrier once.
And she makes suits.
And she makes costumes. She's very domesticated.
Which is very fucked up because Reed makes the suits in the comic books.
Because it has to be out of a special material to actually formulate to their body structure.
Yeah, because otherwise they would just burn up, get ripped, or whatever.
Or just be whatever she turned invisible, just be floating there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, any sleeves that Reed has on also stretches with him.
In this movie, yes.
Yeah.
Very bizarrely. And, we'll talk about
we got to get there. We got to get there.
But you're right. Doom does want this gem swapped out, but he's working independently of the jeweler.
So they're not even friends.
And then it was just like, this is perfect.
And the reason Doom wants this gem swapped out is because he knows it will fuck up Reed's experiment when they're in space, and then he'll die. That's the plan here, folks.
This is probably a dumb question, and maybe it was lost in the monologue, but does Doom ever explain why he hates them?
In this movie?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's just because Reed was right.
Oh, okay.
Well, also at the same time, Reed technically got electrocuted because of an equation that Reed gave him.
Victor
my bad.
No, I'm pretty sure Victor got electrocuted because of his equation.
His fuck up.
Yeah.
That was wrong. Because he was basically like, it's fine.
And then Reed was like, "No, dog, these numbers not gonna work." And then
we'll do it anyway.
He's like, "I'm not doing bitch."
It would have been more compelling had Reed been the one to fuck up the equation, but no.
Yeah. I just assumed because, my bad.
You put logic in, that's the problem.
That's probably what it was.
Should have got that Reed Richards from Doctor Strange, too. He would have fucked it up. Because when they fought Doom, he would have been like, hold up. I think you need to be fully understanding of everyone's power set here before we begin.
Just so you know what you're up against, Doom.
Yeah, just so you know.
And Doom would have said, so?
Kind of like he did in this movie.
Looks real close. So?
So yeah, the Fantastic Four going to space. Why? Because reasons.
Because solar flares.
Solar flares. And do you need like any kind of space permit, government interference, or anything to go into space?
Nope.
No.
You can even take some orphans with you.
Yeah, you can take some orphans who have less than 0 qualifications, and you can get your best friend to be your pilot just because he says you can do it.
Yeah.
Well, they did. I will say, I did remember hearing that he did fly in some sort of military.
Oh, okay.
That I did hear that. It was very quick.
Okay.
So
I'll give it to him.
He attained MacGuffin school.
a MacGuffin school, exactly. Yeah.
What was that airplane game that used to be on like the old Nintendo?
I was thinking about that.
Pilot
my
Wings? Was it Pilot
that
Wings?
Or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's what he played.
He played that shit.
Yeah.
We also got to talk about the age jump for the Storm siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it says 10 years. When you see them originally, they are, like you said, 12 and maybe
8.
6.
Yeah.
And then they're
And-
like 25 and 20.
Yeah, easily. There was no 10 years. That was at least 15.
And they swapped who was the older.
Did they?
The boy looked older than the girl did.
Oh,
did,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Hey man, look.
Because he was like this fucking tall and she was like that tall. And then all of a sudden he's way the fuck up here. I'm pretty sure he's got to shave twice a day.
I guarantee you that those kids were just like some extras kids.
Yeah.
I got a niece and a nephew who would love to be in the movie. That's what it was.
Well, we needed to make some more time, so come on.
So finally they go into space. And now, homies, you guys are probably thinking, finally, we get into the part where this movie starts.
We were thinking that too.
No, the first act is over, the second act is here, and it is the same.
It's the
Same pace. Oh, it's so bad.
It's the same
They
shit.
they even take a while to like give them their powers. Like
It was uncomfortably long.
yeah, like I think do we get Johnny first? He sneezes.
Yeah.
Well,
Fire.
Before that, when they're in space, right, and then the ship with the fake diamond goes wrong, so the experiment doesn't go right.
And it explodes.
It explodes. But while it's happening, we get this fucking
Angelic beam of light on their face
and they're all
in slow-mo.
It's apparently orgasmic as fuck because like all of them are just like overflowed with euphoria, pain, both.
All right, folks. So you know, in like any Star Trek or Galaxy Quest or space movie, whatever, there's the point where like the ship gets hit with a torpedo or a laser or whatever, and everyone has to grab stuff and then shake and act like the ship is all fucked, right? Well, like this is like if that scene was in whatever the most emotional part of the Touched by an Angel episode was, and it lasts. That was a callback. It lasts for like 8 fucking minutes.
It goes on.
It is damn near Grandpa Wookie VR porn level.
I don't know if
pretty
it's that bad.
They show each of them twice.
but it like yeah,
Grandpa
it was
Wookie
rough.
almost ripped the handle off that chair, alright?
That's true. Man, but this movie really needed to pad its runtime because there was no reason for this scene to be that
long.
See, here's the weird thing though. 2 seconds earlier than that scene, they could have been like, they could have added lines at least to be like, oh, why is the experiment not working? Hold on, clickety clickety clickety.
Oh, that was another thing that I pointed out. Like when as soon as the experiment kind of started going wrong, immediately Reed was like, "The crystal's a fake."
Yeah,
About that same level of fucking emotion too.
right. Like if you have a like indicator light for fake crystal on your dash, why didn't you check that shit before you started the experiment?
Right?
It was so bad.
But then, Caleb, like you said, they get exploded. They are in outer space.
Outer space and it
And
explodes.
shit explodes.
They do not have superpowers yet. All
Right.
They're in flimsy suits.
They fall back down to
Ten
earth.
full suits, 100%.
That's right. I'm pretty sure that like you're supposed to maybe catch fire
Yeah.
At some point. Well, they caught fire up there already, so it was fine.
Oh, that's
They
true.
got it over with.
Yep, we got it over with. But they crash land. Where do they land at?
Also, they make no crater.
None.
There's
just debris laying around
and like a small fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all survive re-entry. About 18 different pieces of debris land directly on Reed, though.
Yeah. But he is touching the ground with his back. So he hit first.
Yeah. Yep. I'm sure that the physics say that would happen.
Yep.
Ben, so long story short, they spend a ridiculous amount of time out here.
What's also
at the crash site.
You say that we spend a ridiculous amount of time with them. In reality, they are out there for a day. At least. In the meantime, though, in that day period, everyone else in New York is like, oh, they died.
They did.
I would say we spend around 12 hours. Well, not us, but like they spend around 12 hours sitting out there.
Yeah.
They
crash
did.
site.
They did.
Mm-hmm. They did. Also,
gotta be dead.
Victor Von Doom apparently like founded Latveria during all of this time.
During this 10-year period.
Yeah.
Latveria.
And I love how Latveria is like him, some raggedy ass doom bots. And like,
clearly not people.
Yeah, we're definitely not just people.
And then those two motherfuckers that wheeled him off.
Yeah. For who knows what reason still.
All right. I was avoiding it. The fuck is Latveria?
That is the home country of Dr. Doom. He's
like their
his
leader.
Own sovereign nation. Yep.
It's actually a really nice place to live.
It is.
Because they have like free healthcare and like security.
So like
and
the video I sent in the chat the other day.
Correct. Yeah.
They got a little bit of a question in response to it, but
yeah, like all you have to do in exchange for all those things is exactly what Victor Von Doom wants you to do when he wants you to do it.
Because there will be peace, even if it kills you.
Even if it kills you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, look, my thing is like, how often is he really gonna just randomly bump into me as a rando citizen?
Okay, you said that, but now also you need to pledge your loyalty to Doom. That means if fucking the Hulk knocks on your door and say, "Where's Victor Von Doom?" You better keep your motherfucking mouth shut.
You'd be like,
I'm not gonna know where he is anyway.
Be like, I never heard of him.
I mean, you might know where he is in this version of Latveria because it's on a fucking cliff hanging over some sort of canyon.
At that point, I probably wouldn't be able to help it. I'd be like, man, I don't
know. Also, Victor may just assign you one or several Doom bots to just follow you around and make sure that you don't do anything he disagrees with.
That part too. See, that's what people don't think about. The Doom bots will do a lot of the shitty work that human beings shouldn't have to do, but they're also spies.
Yeah, everyone.
100%.
Yeah.
This is just like one step further, America.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this is like if
but with healthcare.
Yeah, I was like, but with healthcare.
Yeah, with
if
healthcare.
America treated us better, it would be like Latveria.
Yeah.
I hate how accurate that is.
Yeah.
So like, I'm seeing not many downsides. Honestly, can I afford a house in this universe?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Actually, everyone has a house in Latveria.
Yeah.
I mean, can I sign up?
It sounds like Latveria.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Do I have to do that every time?
Yes, every time.
Fuck it. All right.
But like I said, when like Wakanda or the
like
Avengers or Shield comes knocking at your fucking door, you gotta be ready to throw hands with them. That's how it is.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
I
mean, also you got to be prepared for like Dr. Doom to like come on the morning news because that's the only person that's going to be on there and be like, "We're invading Wakanda later today."
Yeah,
suit up,
bitches.
That you have a chest outside your front door with like some weapons and shit.
And then he's like, "Doom out."
Yeah. no, it's clearly.
I mean, I still think I might sign up though.
Yeah.
Oh man, so yeah, homies. If you guys want to move to Latveria, move there first. Let me know how it is after about a year or so, and then
yeah. You know what? That's fine.
Then I'm down.
Well, how would they be able to listen to the podcast anymore?
They probably wouldn't, and they wouldn't be able to send us any letters. So
are they blocked off too in Latveria?
Oh yeah. There's no outside.
No.
Do they have their own internet?
Yeah, they have Doomghoul or whatever.
Yeah. Well, first off, that apparently was cutting edge before cutting edge was a thing. So.
Yeah. Their Zoom calls are all like crystal clear, but it's not called Zoom; it's called Doom.
Yeah.
All right, but actually, I would. If someone was like, "Hey, do you want to have a Doom call real quick?" I'd be like, "Yeah."
And when you get on the phone call, you hear this message that says, "This phone call may be monitored by Dr. Doom himself."
At least they let us know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn.
shit.
So they get picked up by the army, which turns out was just some Latvian soldiers, basically, just with some American flags on their vehicle.
Yeah, because how convenient did their explosion? Not only did it happen in space, but they crash landed in Latveria.
Did they?
Did they? It didn't look
We
like
don't know.
it.
I think they got transported over to it.
Yeah.
But they got transported to like Dr. Doom's secret lab.
And everyone has their powers now.
Yeah, and now everybody has their powers.
They do the thing where Reed. Fuck, what's Fire Bro?
Oh, Johnny?
Johnny. I don't know how I forgot that shit. Johnny sneezes out fire.
Sue walks up, they couldn't see her.
Which, as tired as I am of that, I guess technically it was more fresh now.
At that time, yeah.
And she almost falls backwards on a sharp piece of debris, and then Reed extends his Team America arm.
Which, and again, his clothing stretched with him.
Yep.
What kills me is that this movie has the audacity to close up on his fake ass arm every time it stretches out.
It is straight up a Team America arm.
And it's so slow.
It is.
Like every time he punches somebody, I'm like, why did you not move out of the way?
I like the one where
The double punch?
It's two shots.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It's just the hand, and it's one shot, and the dude runs up and clearly hits it, and then another shot, and the dude runs up and clearly hits it.
It's great.
Yeah. But yeah, so then they end up in Dr. Doom's secret labs with his ultra creepy scientist,
Another one.
who's trying to use a syringe to draw blood, which isn't how that works.
All right, so which doctor would you rather have show up in your room?
Ooh, the first one that took Victor off,
Yeah.
or the one here in the
Yeah.
medical facility?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well,
I'm kind of leaning the first one.
I'm kind of leaning
Yeah.
the first one, too,
I
yeah.
might go because I think the first one's going to try to kill me, but the second one's going to try to molest me.
Yeah. While killing
So I
you.
guess it really just depends on your level of torture.
Yeah, the second one was like Muse adjacent.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was hilarious though, and ironic that like the first time this guy pulls out the needle was when he's in the room with Sue Storm.
I
Yeah.
thought I saw that too.
Yeah, he doesn't pull it out with Ben, I mean, obviously, or Johnny. He does pull it out with Sue, and then she's like, no. And then he pulls it out with Reed.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, he has maybe his own little kinks. I don't know.
Yeah. While this is going on,
Also, he looked way too happy to see Ben.
he did. I gotta say though, the prosthetics on Ben were actually, for the time and the budget,
Oh yeah.
really good.
I was still disturbed by his teeth, though. Like,
The mouth thing was weird.
I know that I think in some renditions of the thing, like, he does actually have teeth.
He does have teeth,
Yeah,
but
but
they're
like,
they're proportioned to his head.
right. These are definitely the actor's teeth.
Yeah.
Just like covered up with a mask that's just way too big, and it's just.
Yeah, it's weird because like when he talks, his face does a lot of weird.
I believe I made the comment that he has Goro mouth from Mortal Kombat.
He looks like Goro got like $10,000 worth of lip fillers.
Holy shit. Yeah, so the Fantastic Four, they begin to deduce. Oh shit, we're gonna go back to the B plot.
Yeah, I was gonna say during this time,
Do we really
the
have to?
jeweler decides that he wants a bride.
Which make okay.
Well, he
To
already
go
knew
with
he knew who the bride was. That's why he went and got the diamond. Because he was creepy.
Right?
outside
Yeah,
his
he was
window-
already
her
creeping
window.
on her, and it's Alicia Masters, of course. And so he sends his jewel goons to
I wanted to not
Abscond
think
with
about that
her.
one dude.
yeah, the very odd, creepy, lanky guy.
The really thin, tall fedora guy from high school.
Yes,
Oh no.
Yeah.
the
tell me I'm wrong.
Julenites. That's what his goons are called.
I'm shocked he didn't say "milady" once.
Oh, that's true. He wanted to.
You know he wanted to.
He's not classy enough.
Yeah.
He's even lower class than.
My bitch.
You know what? I wouldn't have hated that.
That dude was creepy as shit.
He
Right?
was.
They found every creepy motherfucker they could for this movie.
They're good.
Yeah,
but
they really did.
Doom ended up shooting that fucking guy though.
Yeah, he did.
Thankfully.
That was great. By the way, guys, Doom is the MVP in this movie.
By
He
far.
is.
Yeah.
He is.
His
Even with
costume
his-
is dope.
Oh,
His
yeah.
semantic components are dope.
We think his monologues are dope.
Yeah, some of them.
We heard one of them.
The ones we heard were pretty good.
Oh shit. But yeah, so the jeweler does end up kidnapping Alicia. I
His-
thought I had
his
a
queen.
dun button, but I don't yet.
Good enough.
Yeah, good enough.
I feel like that's not the right response for that, but all right.
Well, these things happen.
Yeah, he kidnaps Alicia, and of course, she's not thrilled about the situation at
She
all.
also finds out in the scene right before this that Ben died
Yeah.
because she was meant to make the molds for their memorial.
Yeah.
Because they died only 12 hours ago?
Yep.
Yeah.
But another weird thing is that she's a face sculptor, right? Mm-hmm. And she was sent.
Don't think about it. Stop.
Pre-made.
Stop.
Faces. Yeah.
No, they actually show a scene of her before that where she's making them.
She's making that one, but that one's behind her when she gets the.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because she, right before that, was doing a weird thing where she rubbed the lips and then rubbed the clay on her own lips.
Maybe we're to understand that she made those as well. They're just coming back from the kiln or whatever.
That's possible.
I know that's what the movie wants me to think, but I feel like that's
But that's
me
not what I
thinking
think.
more than the movie is.
That's not hard. That's a low bar.
Yeah.
I feel like Brendan would have absolutely loved this movie if he was here.
I think he would
Oh,
have.
for sure. Absolutely. Brendan, if you're watching this,
Go watch the movie.
yeah.
Yeah, you should, it's
on the Plex.
He probably is. He probably is.
All right, back to the A plot because that's so much more exciting.
At this point, no, it's not.
That was sarcasm.
Yeah.
I know. I'm traumatized right now.
Now we get a ridiculously long time of them chilling in the lab.
And eventually they decide, you know what, this isn't right.
Oh, don't forget about Ben leaving.
That's after
This
this.
is after.
Oh,
They
is that
break
after
out
this?
first.
My bad.
Yep.
Because they get the meth suits from Breaking Bad,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
and then
Well, actually, wouldn't the Breaking Bad suits be these ones?
correct
They're hazmat suits. Either way you look
the
at it.
hazmat suits,
That was not a hazmat suit. That was a PPE at best.
the eye washing station attendant suit,
That's right.
and so yeah, they beat up the guard. Well, Ben beats up the guards, and they go to escape, and they run into Victor, who they don't know is Victor yet. And this is where he's like, "You will not." Blah, blah, blah.
And all of us, we had to pause and look at each other. What the fuck did he just say?
Yeah, like what?
And like we had the TV on full volume.
Yeah.
There was no
100%.
There was no there were no subtitles, right?
No. And the only reason that we know that he summoned the Doombots is because the Doombots came out.
Well,
And
the
he just
Doom
walks
people that are bots.
They are definitely not people.
Those were
Totally not
definitely-
Yeah, they were people with blue paint on their bodies.
Not always. I
That
think
one time,
in one scene, they just didn't have paint.
Yeah,
but they had sunglasses.
yeah, they do have sunglasses. And there's no way they were able to see anything because it's dark as fuck. Just,
whole time.
I want you to keep in mind as we talk about everything about this movie, it's all insanely dark as fuck.
Yes.
Like you take any modern movie or show and you're like, oh man, they made that really dark because the CG was bad. Yeah, this movie's like that the whole time.
all the time.
All the time.
This shit was hilarious though because the way that this scene is shot and presented, I just knew for certain that we were not meant to understand Doom.
No. so Doom summons the Doombots, and then he's like, they'll take care of you, or it actually was more like,
I do think there was one time where he goes, "Kill them," and like we understood that.
Yeah.
He's basically like, so I presume that all of you come, and then you will. I guess so, Doom. Yeah. And then he leaves.
So dumb.
He leaves, and they kill all the Doombots and escape. And then he walks back out.
But don't forget that this is the first time we finally realize that Johnny Storm is useless.
Yeah. Because he spends the entire fight trying to burn a hole in the wall, and he just kind of makes a black spot on it. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the fight, Ben effortlessly just walks through the wall.
Well, we missed that this at the start of this is when we get the first it's clobbering time.
We did.
It's true.
He said
And
the
then-
thing, and we were really excited about it.
Yeah.
Before that, when the creepy doctor number 2 shows up, we learned that Johnny's powers are
God.
verbal components.
God.
Oh, good point, though.
Yeah, fucking terrible.
Somebody is frustrating the fuck out of me, whoever was the consultant for this movie, because they were like, well, you know, guys, the Fantastic Four, they have to be hit by cosmic rays, and, you know, the Alicia Masters, she's Ben's love interest, so maybe we can put her... Somebody was feeding them good information, but then somebody else said, well, you know...
We're just going to do this.
In order for Johnny to use his powers, he has to say flame on and then also flame off.
They had one issue of Fantastic Four on set, and
it
it was
that
not
one.
the first issue.
It was the one that had the jeweler.
And so they like 2:30, and so they turn the page, and Johnny Storm ignites and yells "flame on." So they're like, "Oh, that must be how his power works."
But yeah, like he spends this whole fight flame on, beaming a wall that it does no damage to.
None. But,
And this is just a thin concrete wall.
Yeah.
And Ben effortlessly walks through that bitch, and then they out. And then Kayla, like you said,
Yeah, this is basically the equivalent of any of the putty fights from
Yeah.
early Power Rangers. Not late Power Rangers. Those fights are probably better than this. But they're also way later in time. But yeah, so then Doom is like, oh, I don't hear any more sounds. My Doom bots must have destroyed them. And then he just kind of walks out. And it's unintentionally hilarious part where he's just like, fuck.
Yeah, he's,
because it lingers for a second. He walks out there, he assesses the situation, and then there's just like this realization.
shit.
God damn.
And the best part is, he says something.
Yeah, but we don't know what it is. It's kind of like,
It must be a Lightvaria curse that we just don't know.
oh, yeah, that's what it is. He's speaking Latvarian.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and that must be the language that's on the computer that Reed saw.
Yeah.
Okay.
It all makes sense now. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not
No, it
very-
doesn't.
Oh, boy. Okay, so the Fantastic Four, they escape and they go back to the Baxter building. The Thing gets all emotional and he leaves.
Yeah, because he's like, yeah, you motherfuckers can just have a normal life, but I like this.
And then he immediately goes to try to pick up some bitches.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not
also,
making that up.
This is also the scene where they literally start looking on the bright side of this film
Yeah, they
by
do.
turning up the light.
The
Yeah.
saturation on this is just crazy.
It is. They turn that shit all the way up.
Yeah, it
Except
was
for
like,
the scenes that the Thing is in.
Yeah. But this is also when we find out that Sue Storm is very good at being a woman.
Yep, she makes the costumes.
oh god, yeah.
And Ben Grimm goes out and he tries to pick up some bitches
Who run?
who run, and then he immediately is like, shh, I should join a cult.
There's like one small step between there, but yeah.
Ultimately, that's what happens. Yes.
As is the natural progression of things.
Yeah.
How many
that's
cults did
true.
you join?
They didn't have Reddit yet, so, you know.
That's right.
He sat in like 2 or 3 spots looking sad, and in one of those spots, creepy thin fedora guy showed up and started touching on him and pulled him away.
Ben,
That was uncomfortable for me to watch.
yeah, imagine how that felt.
I don't want to.
It's like, don't get it twisted. They still had incels in the early 90s. They just didn't have a way to, you know, communicate and all vote for the same person.
It's true.
Anyway.
Ben, he's taken down to the Rat King's lair. I mean, the jeweler's lair.
You mean the mole? You mean the?
Yeah. Not the mole man who they clearly wanted to fucking use. And it's here where, because Alicia is also here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's been abducted.
She has been abducted. Ben has his own little side quest here.
Is she in the Crown right now?
She might be.
Nah, that's the later scene.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's the one where she's in the.
No, I think this is.
No, it is it.
We missed a scene where
No,
number 1 and 2
because
showed up.
the Doom Goons come in and they offer to buy the thing. She's not in the crown then.
Yeah, but that's not this scene. We skipped that scene.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
it really doesn't matter.
The Doctor and unnamed Goon number 2 showed up to try and get the very expensive MacGuffin gem, and they were told fuck off with a lot of guns. Mm-hmm. So they did, and then Doom was like, "I'll be there in a day and a half."
That was a
and
fucking
fuck.
Which, as we turned out, the travel time from Latveria to here is like 30 minutes. Tops.
30 minutes.
Yeah, it's not
100%.
far. It's actually off the coast of Manhattan.
Right? Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Doom actually offered a really in-depth explanation of his entire itinerary for this
But we
time
just
period.
couldn't understand.
But it was just like, he did have a good evil laugh.
You have a good evil laugh.
He did.
But when the thing showed up, he the jeweler was being all creepy in the bedroom with her. Oddly enough, not in that way.
Just
He's
creepy.
the one character that got less handsy than anybody else.
And he was creepy as shit. Can't judge a book by its cover.
But Fedora Bro rolls up, knocks on the wall because there's no door. And the jeweler dude's like, "Look, I'm trying to get some. What do you want?" And then he shows him the thing, and I think the jeweler jizzed. I don't know.
Yeah, because I think that was the first time he got really handsy.
They
Was-
did
That
just
is true,
start
actually.
worshiping him.
Yeah, like what were they gonna do with Ben?
Probably use him as like a mercenary.
I thought you were gonna say probably gonna fuck him. Like that's
I feel like if you can fuck the thing, like he's got to want you to.
And he thinks a dildo if you're brave enough.
Like you're definitely not fucking him without his consent.
oh for
Yeah,
sure.
no.
He might be fucking you,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you're not fucking him.
yeah. That would be a tough proposition.
It'd be kind of hard to do.
Shut up.
You gonna let him tell you what to do? Thanks.
That being said, what happens if Ben takes Viagra?
He explodes.
I don't know why that made me laugh so hard.
he becomes one with Stonehenge.
Oh my god!
Stonehenge.
Oh my god!
Oh.
So anyway, Ben is there when Dr. Doom finally shows up 90 hours later or whatever.
Yeah.
After he's been out sampling
Yeah, because-
cheeses and wines and
So technically, the goon thing happened before they broke out, right?
nah, I don't
Before
think
the
so.
Fantastic Four broke out, because he says, I'll be there in a day and a half, and then does something else for like a day.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I
maybe
think
it was all
before.
that.
And
Yeah.
then he just shows up afterwards.
And we did skip over this. This is kind of important to the A plot. Is like what he wanted to know from the creepy doctor number 2 that was examining them
Oh,
all
yeah.
was could they possibly take all of their powers and put them into one person, aka
Super Scroll.
Victor. Yeah, a Super Scroll or Super Doombot.
Yep.
Super Doom.
Super Doom Bot Alpha.
Yeah.
So even
Prime.
back then, they were trying to make God Emperor Doom.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Except this would have been the most hilarious version of God Emperor Doom.
See, I don't even know that was a thing, but it sounds hilarious in this context.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's basically the version of Doom that you don't want to fuck with.
Oh, and for the record, shocking no one, I don't know that much about comics.
He doesn't mean that. He knows more than I do.
Oh. I don't know about that, but
I don't know about that either.
so this is the point where Doom actually does show up to face the jeweler, and Ben happens to be there at the time.
But not in the same room.
Not yet. Doom's Doom doesn't the jewelers Jewelinites.
Man, yeah.
They don't do very well against Doom
No.
at all.
And then he pulls out like some German pistol.
Yeah, that he got from the Red Skull. Yeah. Now this is also the scene where he flexes the bullets back at people.
That's true.
That's true,
Yeah.
Because all of the Jewelinites, as you like to call them, which, fuck it, that's a good enough name, they're packing.
Look, if this movie's gonna just make up bullshit, so can I.
Yeah. Yeah, he sends it. I don't even think he sends. I think he has some Doombots with him, but he's like, nah, I got this.
Yeah.
And then flexes a whole bunch of bullets and kills them with their own shit.
And then there's like only
3.
Jewelnite numero uno, MVP
Creepy
Jewelnite.
Fedora guy.
Creepy Fedora guy,
And
and
the
then
two
2 other
named
ones
Fedoras.
left. And Doom's like, I'm only gonna ask y'all to move out the way one fucking time before I shoot a motherfucker. And then the other two guys are like, we're out, yeah.
The smartest two people in this whole film.
And
they
then,
left.
And then Doom was like, bitch, I told you to move, and he shoots him.
Well, this is another thing about the creepy fedora guy in that whole scene is like when the other two run, he goes.
He tries to do some like Power Ranger putty taekwondo.
Like, what was the plan?
Did he not see the bullets not work earlier?
Like, yeah, it made no sense. Like, 'cause there was no weapon in his hand. He was just like,
maybe his spells also have somatic components.
okay.
It was a two action.
Yeah,
not
he
a,
fizzled it.
So Doom was like, I don't know if he could, but I wasn't gonna see if he could.
Except instead of giving up, he just shot him.
Yeah.
pow.
And this, by the way, to me is the best part of the whole movie. Doom shoots this motherfucker, and then the jeweler grabs Alicia Masters and holds her at gunpoint and is like, if you come any closer, I'll kill this bitch. And then Doom walks up, stoops down to look at her like, do I actually know this hoe? And he's like, so?
Verbatim. And that shit was hilarious.
Because we were all wondering, like, why would Doom give a fuck about
Why
her?
would you? Then it showed.
And then
give a fuck.
Yeah, and then Doom was like, why the fuck would I give a damn about it? Yeah, that shit was great. It's like, and this is really when Doom, between like his first encounter with the Fantastic Four and this, Doom was quickly becoming the MVP.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Also, his lair looked fucking dope.
Yeah. Every part about him, except for his being able to hear him, was the best parts about this movie.
And even that is hilarious.
This episode has now surpassed the runtime of the film. I love it.
It's all because of Doom.
Yeah.
All because of Doom.
So, I do love this part about this scene, though, because I forget how, I think we were laughing too hard, but the jeweler ends up being like, oh, well, fuck this shit, and just leaves her and leaves.
He just leaves and he's out of the movie.
And then Ben shows up, and the Doom is just like, because she hears his voice and is just like, Ben? He's like, what the fuck's happening?
How she recognized that voice?
Yeah.
Because it sounds different.
This is a different dude.
And then the second that he realizes that they're like possibly a thing, he grabs her and holds the gun to her head.
You hear that, Marvel? Ben Grimm and the Thing should sound differently.
Yes. Please.
If you're listening, Kevin Feige.
He's like, oh, fuck, I forgot something. He's taking us the whole time so people shouldn't understand Doom. But what's crazy about this scene is, for reasons unknown, Ben Grimm reverts back to human self.
The second she says she loves him.
Yeah, that was so like I did bring up like the old cartoon.
Called The Thing.
Yeah, there was a Thing cartoon where you said it was a kid, right? I couldn't remember.
A kid.
I just remember
he magic ring.
He put on a magic ring and turned himself into the Thing, and I thought maybe that was just like a spin-off thing.
Yeah, it was weird, right? Because as a matter of fact, back then they had a similar cartoon for the Human Torch as well. That was not the same thing, but the same thing.
Firestorm?
No, it's a different character.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, back in the day, even before this, they wanted to make a Human Torch movie. Yeah.
Just him?
Mm-hmm.
That was weird.
Yep.
We've been doing it all night.
I know.
But yeah, Ben reverts back to himself for like 2 minutes, and then he leaves.
And yells.
Alicia, yep. He goes, ah.
And then he's back.
Yeah, and then,
In a weird flashing back and forth and then spinning scene.
Yeah, that was,
It's like they wanted to do this thing where he like accepted his condition or whatever, but they didn't really have time for that shit, so they just had him go, ah.
And then he meets back up with the rest of the Fantastic Four, who are now gearing up for one final epic battle with Victor Von Doom.
because of his Zoom call.
Yeah, because he Zoom called them.
Yeah, Doom called.
Doom called them.
My bad.
Which thankfully Reed had a way to accept that call.
Right?
He didn't accept it. That shit just patched in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, man. A 70-inch flat screen was quite a flex in like '93.
Yeah.
For sure.
That and his wall filing cabinet.
Yep.
Like Reed Richards, Dr. Doom, and Zordon was the only people who had that
That's
shit.
it. That is it.
And Vince McMahon.
So then They hopped in the not Quinjet, and
Oh yeah.
And flew Latveria in 30 seconds.
in like 30 seconds
Latveria.
flat. Yep. No bathroom breaks needed.
Latveria.
Yep. And they hop out and they immediately get stun beamed by Doom in his trap.
And then
His
he
one
monologues to
spot in the
them.
room trap.
And we're not sure if his monologue to them was good or not.
We don't.
We know that he made lots of hand motions for it.
So Fantastic Four, I sleep.
We do know in the Doom call, he says 12 hours.
I forgot about that.
He was smart enough to write it backwards so that it looked right on their end.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I still don't. I can't get over that. Look what you did to me.
Yeah.
Like this.
Because he holds it and then wiggles and then holds it some more.
He's got spirit fingers.
His hand mannerisms were odd. Like early in the movie, you feel like it's maybe just a little bit of a tick, but then like by the end of it, you're just like, man, this motherfucker just has full on Tourette's. Like that's what he got from the machine.
Yeah.
You know, like the one thing, like for the comic book nerds out there, that you probably will dislike about Doom the most, he never, that we know of, refers to himself in first person. He never refers to himself as just Doom. That we know.
Oh, right.
Wait,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be third?
Third person, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never calls himself just Doom. It's always, I mean, we never hear him call himself anything.
You know what? He could be doing it a bunch.
He could be.
We
just
don't know.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
So does he run around doing that?
Doom,
third person's
Doom
himself?
always refers to himself as Doom. Yeah.
Like The Rock.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Except The Rock got it from Doom.
Right.
I mean, obviously.
So you're probably wondering, well, how did the Fantastic Four get out of this precarious position they're in? Well, I'm glad you asked.
Oh, God.
I didn't ask, but you're gonna tell it.
So Doom zaps them with the Steal Your Powers ray.
Yep.
And then
Reed Richards,
The
he's
no
able
showing
to-
emotion or pain looking motherfucker.
Reed is
Everyone
just
is
bored.
dying, right?
Well,
Like the
just-
three of them
It's
are.
really just Sue. Who was
Yeah, but
screaming
the
her
other
head
two
off.
are also at least emoting.
Yeah, let's not forget the look that the thing had on his face during all this.
Which I sent that to the thing. You should just put that as the clip. Or the thumbnail.
Yeah, the thumbnail for this episode, 100%.
But
No, I want people to click on it. Man.
I don't know.
Their
If,
morbid
like,
curiosity will bring them in.
I don't know if the actor that played Reed Richards is just like has gone full Wesley Snipes at this point and just didn't want to be there. But like for the last maybe 10 minutes of this movie, he has no emotion whatsoever and is just like insanely smug about everything.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like he never had emotion throughout the whole movie.
He had a little bit.
He had
though.
Something.
but at the end,
He seemed like he was like us. He wanted this shit to be over with.
yeah.
And, I mean, like he's just non-caring. Is what he's giving off.
But you got sidetracked from saying how they got out of their trap.
Right.
Yep.
So he's as their powers are being sapped from them, Reed is able to free a foot slightly from the tractor beam. He's able to use his foot to stretch out and with perfect, accurate math precision, kick the pedestal that the gem is on, knocking it over, which causes the tractor beam to
Well, I
drop.
thought he just kicked the bottom
He
of
kicks
the beam.
Like the
machine,
gun that's
turret.
shooting the beam out, he
just
kicks
the
it
turret.
up. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't matter. Either way, he was able to stretch his leg out of this tractor beam to do so.
Well,
Yeah.
also in pain.
Yeah.
And yeah, so now fight's on. And so we basically get a rehash of the first fight
Pretty much.
of the Doombots versus the Fantastic.
And then this one, Johnny Storm is casting Fireball over and over and never hits anyone.
Yeah.
Not a single motherfucker.
He's rolling 2s and 3s.
But we do see the force field finally pop up.
We do one time.
I was happy with the Sue Storm force field.
Yeah, I think we all popped for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ben says it's clobbering time again.
he does because it is.
It is.
It was.
And he proceeds to do like the same moves he did in the first fight.
As a matter of fact, it's entirely possible that some of the clips are just from the first fight.
I think they were.
No, that is fair because like
I
it
think
was
they
very
were
similar
slightly
layout, too.
different, though. I think they were different.
Yeah.
I can't be sure. I would not put money on it.
It's true.
But
I don't think they're all the same, but I think some of the clips of the thing, like just swinging his arms
that
and
could
Doombots
be.
going flying, I think that's from the first fight scene.
Again,
Well, I mean, like they had $1 million budget. They weren't going to continuously put that suit on and off. So
That's true.
And also, like you said, Caleb, this is very much Power Rangers.
It is.
I mean, and they do the same shit. Like they even do like the old school wrestler shit in the battle royale. Where everyone gets on the big guy, and then the big guy.
And then there's a
They
completely
did,
different cut where those people are flying through the air.
Yes,
And they land on a mattress or some shit. And yeah,
it's ridiculous.
so bad.
Yeah. So yeah, this fight is going on. Oh no, we also get the iconic scene of Reed Richards punching two people at once, and the camera follows his slow ass fist.
It was so
As
dumb.
it hits one, and then you think it's gonna come back, but no, it just keeps on going.
and this continues until we get the Reed Richards versus Dr. Doom 1v1.
1v, and I was oh shit, here we go.
And
it was
like
3 punches.
Doom doesn't really even get a hit in, and Reed Richards
He gets one hit
Does he?
with his claws.
with his Catwoman claws.
Yeah, but he doesn't, that's a blocked hit, I think.
I mean, either way,
Yeah.
he still hit.
And like
No, I don't think he did.
and like so the way that Reed is fighting him is basically like if Matt Murdock's dad had like a 15-foot reach. Because he's just like boxing him from like across the room.
I'm not even really sure I'd call that boxing, but that is the closest thing.
And Doom is just completely unprepared for any of this.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Even though
yeah.
he can flex bullets away.
He gets fucking rocked by Stretch Armstrong.
Yep.
And you know, it's like you said during the viewing, Caleb. He is the opposite of Van Forstig Doom, who can do anything.
Yeah, Van Forstig Doom can like melt everyone's brain in the room, or like dissolve the planet, or like
make you blow up.
make you blow up, or turn you into flowers, or like transform this table into
Did
a
he
duck.
have the
or,
reality stone or something?
Unclear.
Unclear. You're not supposed to ask any questions. Yeah, he can just fuck up whatever. There's no that you don't know anything about his powers.
And you want us to review this.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, it's
Oh
imperative.
my God.
And it turns 10 years old this year anyway.
Yeah, it's imperative. Yeah,
Is it really that old?
Yep.
yeah, it's 2015.
Yep. So this version of Dr. Doom, on the other hand,
It's the opposite.
he can talk shit and get hit.
Yeah. And deflect bullets with his pecs.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
but a punch? No, he's got nothing. He's got nothing for that. So Doom is punched over like the cliffside of his castle, but he's hanging on, and Reed is looking over, and I can tell by the look on Reed's face, you're not gonna save him.
No. First off, if he was really serious about it, he'd do more than, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
So one arm down there.
As he reaches down, Doom is like, "That's right, motherfucker, you bitch ass, pick me up."
Just talking shit the whole time. It's
Yeah.
so good.
And every time it pans over to Reed's face, I'm just like, he's gonna drop it.
Like, at this point, Reed's just let go, dog. Just don't even.
He's like, I was always the better scientist. You motherfucker. You just gonna lead me down.
And then his gauntlet breaks.
Yeah, his gauntlet breaks or whatever, and then Doom falls. And as he's falling,
He laughs.
he laughs. and
Fades into some fog.
and Reed could give a fuck less.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's completely stoic from all of
He
this.
just like is standing there looking at the glove like,
And then he just sets it on the little the rail there.
well, fuck, what is her name?
Sue.
Sue. I'm terrible with names tonight.
She comes up and professes her love for him.
We missed the part where Alicia professed her love for Ben.
No, we covered it.
Did we?
Because
Yeah,
he
that's 'cause he
transforms.
de-transforms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we get the
shit.
I'm
second
there with you,
random.
dog. I get you.
We get the second random love profession.
Yeah.
From like a fucking 17-year-old.
Yeah, and they leave, and then we see the hand start to wiggle.
Which also, she sees the glove and pieces, I'm assuming pieces together that motherfucker just died. And she's just like, I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Doesn't say a damn thing about it.
but this movie isn't over yet because the Human Torch has a laser to stop.
That's right. Because Doom has
I will say this is my favorite part of the movie.
Doom has turned on his New York machine.
Like 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, and it has shot the ultra mega melt New York laser at New York.
And
now-
Reed is just like, I can't stop it.
And now you may be wondering, man, are we gonna go this whole movie without seeing Johnny Storm really flame on? Oh, I got something for you, homies.
And he does flame on, and the effect at first is actually, for the time, pretty good.
Yeah.
But then it gets worse as it goes.
And then he fucking dolphin swims.
Yeah, then he like dolphin swims and does this weird ass Captain Planet thing.
Yeah.
And chases a laser that turned on 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, he chases the laser like a fucking cat.
And they talk about the speed of light at the beginning of this movie.
They do. So he had to be going fast as fuck, boy.
That's the sort, boy. And not only does he catch up to a fucking laser, he gets in front of, and like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna get in front of this thing and, you know,
Push it back, yeah.
he gets in front of it and gets his shit rocked.
The shit was hilarious.
Spinning.
He starts rolling. He starts spinning, and then at one point he stops rolling, and it's just hitting his ass.
If you haven't seen the effect, it is like early South Park.
So funny.
It's real bad.
He does eventually do the the hero thing, turn around, push it back a little bit, and I think he punches it away.
And then it
Yeah, at
like
the end,
explodes
yeah.
into like a galaxy or something.
And I guess the laser just stopped lasering.
Yeah, stop lasering.
Admittedly, at this point, I had checked out.
At this point,
I actually thought he was gonna, when he made the flame shield, I actually thought he was gonna fly all the way back to Latveria and like push it back into the machine, and then it was gonna explode.
yeah, that would make a little more sense. Not really. But
Yeah, but I was like, I'm gonna really laugh hard as fuck if they show him go all the way back there. Yeah, because like the way that he did it, okay, maybe you turn the machine off, but there's still a melt New York machine.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna need to dismantle that shit.
Because, I mean, he's probably just going to wake up in 3 weeks or whatever. His hand's going to go turn that shit back on.
Yeah, I mean, also, Hydra is around, so like they're gonna figure out how to make a new one.
Hydra's around. There could be more Doom bots.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
That are totally
Red
bad people.
Skull
There's
is out
definitely
there.
more Doombots. Red Skull is
Yeah,
out there.
I'm still sad I looked that up.
He's out there punching rockets and shit.
That's right. And his name is DeSantos.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yep.
That's right,
He
Dylan.
is a South American Nazi.
and Captain. Okay, you know.
Can I go home?
Almost. The reason I mentioned I had checked out is because how does this movie end?
Yeah.
They get married.
That's right.
And we get the insanely
We get
unnecessary
the penis flopping.
So
All right. She's in a wedding dress. The rest of them are in their outfits.
they're Fantastic Four
Yeah,
outfits.
Which the thing has a Speedo.
They get he has
That
a
we-
rock
we
diamond.
Which
glossed over
that is
that.
in some comics accurate.
Yeah.
It's still weird.
And
It
then he extends, they get in the limo, and then Mr. Fantastic extends his 10-foot penis arm and
With a
waves.
glove on it.
And they were very proud of this effect because they showed the shit like 4 times.
Yes. So it was definitely supposed to be his hand because you see the glove, but the way it flopped back and forth,
It was not his hand.
I'm like, he just put that glove on his penis and he's waving it out the top of that limo.
I figured out how to do it fine.
And that's how this fucking movie ends.
Oh God.
Oh, let's score this bitch and go home.
I agree. I'm already home, but I want to go.
Dylan, you started us off tonight.
I'm trying to figure out how the fuck to score this. Okay, so like, first and foremost, if I was not watching this with the three of you, this number would be way lower. I don't even know the number yet, but it would be way lower. Like a 3.
That's fair.
That's
I can't explain it. A 3 feels right.
Who wants to go next?
I was next on the
yeah,
intro.
that's true.
Okay.
Initiative order.
So, and again, I will give this movie props where it's due. Like the thing looked relative, especially for its time, looked
Yeah,
really
sure.
well. Doctor Doom's costume, dope
Yeah.
as shit. Doctor Doom in general, it's just hilarious. For maybe not the reasons that the movie intended, but he was fucking gold. So I'm actually gonna give it a 4. Like, it was garbage all the rest of the ways, but Doctor Doom and the Thing's outfit just fucking worked for me. So I was entertained the last 30 minutes.
I'm just surprised that this was actually really fun. 4. Next. If we're following the intro, he's like,
yeah.
No, sorry. I thought, because it's supposed to be you, but it was you, because we did it in a weird fucking outside and then backwards inside.
It was a weird order.
It's just clockwise.
I don't like that.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot more I can say about this movie that hasn't already been said ad nauseum. Again, go back to my analogy about the weed burning or the acid trip, and that applies perfectly to this movie. Just to kind of parry what's already been said, though, Doom is a fucking treasure, and the only reason I'm upset this movie never got released and or a sequel is because we don't get more of this Doom.
It's true.
And yeah, you know, everything else about the movie, like, that could be called quote unquote good, is fine. You know, the Thing and his look is fine, and you know they do try to get some basic things down from the comic books or whatever. Ultimately, they just make a very dull version of the Fantastic Four. Had Doom been as dull as the Fantastic Four, this score would have been way different.
Yeah, 100%.
Way different. And that's saying something because I got a real low score in mind. With that being said, man, this movie has extreme pacing issues. They don't know when to kick it, or they don't know how to kick it up. But it's just that with the third act, the reason why it feels so much better is because of Doom. Yeah. If we're being honest, think about all your favorite moments.
It's all Doom.
It's probably all Doom. At the end of the day, I have to score this thing the same way Dylan did. I give this a 3 out of 10.
I think I'm gonna give it the highest score here.
Oh.
And I think me having seen the documentary helped a lot.
I can see that.
The documentary is way better than the movie.
No, I don't doubt that.
So yeah, it's if anybody wants to look it up, it's called Doomed: The Untold Story of Roger Corman's The Fantastic Four. But yeah, so it's basically a documentary about how this movie went and how it didn't get made and all of this stuff. The soundtrack was way too good for the rest of it. They had a 40-piece orchestra. Which, I mean, it's kind of like having... It'd kind of be like having, like Linkin Park play at, like, your middle school lunch.
Why does that fit?
Thanks, though. Shit.
It's not the worst Fantastic Four movie. Still,
It's the worst one I've seen so far.
Doom is the MVP.
Same.
What everybody else said too. So I'm gonna give it a 5.
Whoa.
I am so shocked that you hit the 5 mark on this.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
I was for sure you'd be like
It would have been.
4.5.
But think about it. I think if we average out all the scores, it's a 4.
A 4. It's just because. Okay, so
Hold on.
I gave I gave Umbrella Academy season 4 season 4 a 3.5.
You did,
and that shit actively harmed my psyche and made me furiously angry. This movie didn't do that. I actually had quite a fun time actually watching this, so I had to give it better than that.
If you gave
3.75.
you gave it 1 point. You gave it 1.5 points higher than that. If this mic wasn't in front of me, my head would be on the table. I'd just be going to sleep.
Well, homies, I hope you guys really enjoyed this in-depth, very personal review of the 1994 could have been classic, The Fantastic Four.
But it never came out.
Never came out. We could be making all this up for all you guys know.
That's fair.
It sounds like we made it up, but we
I
didn't.
hope we did. I hope we
I
did.
wish we did.
I'll be honest, we could have reviewed this without watching it. It would have been that much different, except for nobody knew that Doom was going to be this dope. Yeah.
I mean, think about it. He killed like one of the creepy motherfuckers.
He did.
What I mean? And he was the most practical in times where he needed to be, and Doom was great here.
Yeah.
Vote Doom for president of Latvia again.
He's the only one on the ballot. Latvia.
In fact, they have a new system. You don't even have to go to the poll to vote. They vote for you.
Yeah,
That's right.
you
Yeah,
have
the
to
Doom
vote.
bots, your personal Doom bot will go vote for you.
Yeah, the Doom bot asks you, will you be voting? And if you say yes, they vote for Doom. And if you say no, you're executed.
Yeah.
And they still vote for Doom.
They still go vote
They
for
execute you after the poll.
Yeah. But hey, come back and join us later on this week. We will be continuing our epic, in-depth coverage of Daredevil: Born Again.
Okay, I thought you were about to be like the rest of the stuff, and I was like, well, I didn't agree to that.
No, we actually decided the other day because I was like, hey, we should probably get started on this Fantastic Fours because we can't watch them shits like every week because like we'll die. So like we got to give ourselves some room.
Yeah.
I think we could probably do like one a month, right?
I think we got time because it's July.
Yeah. So we only got 3 more to go.
But I can definitely say this: when we watch the 04 Fantastic Four movie, that's gonna feel like it's not gonna be an 8 out of 10, but it's gonna feel like one.
Yeah, compared to this.
By the time we get to it,
By the time we get to it, yeah.
I really like how the reason they that Marvel didn't want this movie to come out is because they did not want it to tarnish the brand. And I'm like, you motherfuckers did so much of that for so much more money.
Well, homies, is there anything else to report on before we get out of here?
No, probably don't watch this one.
You know, we said the same thing about the holiday special, and a lot of these fucking homies went out there.
Did they really?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes.
what was their responses to that?
I just wanted to know what the movie was like. Oh God, no. That's basically
Maybe we should have told them that Andor sucked. So they can all go out and watch it.
I mean, honestly, every time the 4 of us get together and actually review a movie, typically it's a bad one.
I've noticed.
that's not by design.
Yeah.
And they won't even let me play with the pen.
Maybe First Steps will be really good.
We can only hope.
Because this has to be the crew for that one, too.
Yeah. Yeah. The problem with that one is, at least as far as we know, for the most part, there won't be any Doctor Doom.
Yeah, it may be a cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at the most part, probably like just he disappears mid,
Or post credits or something.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. But homies, that's going to be all for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this very fun review, even if the movie cost us psychic damage.
It's not even near the worst psychic damage I've taken watching shit with you guys.
No.
Believe me, I'm aware.
This is true. We've been...
You calm down and think about them duck titties.
It ain't even bottom 5.
And that's saying something.
Yeah, it's not.
That is saying something.
It's not even the worst Marvel movie we reviewed from this time period.
We've been through some shit.
And you've been here the whole time, guys.
The whole time.
The whole time. Well, that will be all for now, homies. We will see you guys again next time. But until then, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
I'm superhero homie Caleb.
I'm superhero homie Oz.
I'm superhero homie Dylan.